different readings for professional orientation. You can pick between group number 1, Beeswax Flowers, group number 2, Jasmine Perfume, and group number 3, Beeswax Syringes. Choose your option and go down below in the description box where you can find all the times for each readings, each groups. So see you in your message. Starting now for group number 1, orientation towards professional life, guidance towards your career path, towards group number 1 who picked embalmed Beeswax flowers. Okay, so what called me the first attention when I was opening the game was that you have the 10 of coins in the focus. Is where you want to go, is your objective, is your plan towards achieving this place of stability, of conquest, of my professional path, and then I'm there, being sustained by the decisions that I'm choosing to water, the seeds that I'm choosing to water today on the present, which is the Two of Cups. So there's this huge tree here that is the projection of something that you feel today that you should be watering with these cups. You see, like the 2 and the 10, there is the distance. There is the time frame, like the work to be done, and the constant watering, the constant nourishment that you need to do on this project, and this idea, this desire. And this is a very beautiful reading. It's a very, very rich reading, I feel, because there is something to do with duality in many places. Like there is a duality here, and then is the nourishment that is gonna come through understanding the resolution of this duality. Because imagine, you know that you need to let go something. It's clear to you, I think. Not necessarily what how or when, but you know that you might be carrying something that is making you feel heavy, making you feel a bit, you know, is slowing your pace. It's not nourishing this project. And I say this because you received the death card on what makes sense to you right now. And it's a card that is very related, I think, with justice, which is the challenge in your reading. Is the challenge, it's the challenge card. The change needs to be presented to you in the way that you are presenting yourself to the other, to the world, to these connections, you know, to these exchanges. Exchanges everywhere. You're meeting people, different, you know, you're being constantly facing dualities, not necessarily even on the other, but also dualities in yourself that you're, in a way, struggling to come to a resolution in the justice. You know, the justice, look, she carries this balance, you know, the balance and the sword on the other hand. So imagine, in one hand, she has the Two of Cups, and on the other hand, she has death. Is exactly this. On this balance, she's gonna see how much each content, each recipient is carrying, you know. One is heavier, one is being too heavy, and is not making your choices and your is not making your choices aligned with this project, with this focus, you know. Is not aligned in a way. Some things, not everything, some things. These decisions that you need to cut with the sword. She needs to be, you know, is a card that she measures and she acts upon what she, you know, decided through the balance, what she decided through her own personal feelings. The Two of Cups, it's not something that is reaching through the other. It's something that is reaching through you, that you need to reinforce. To reinforce your tongue, you know, to make because your tongue can cut. Our tongue can cut, and once you say something that is disconnected from, you know, what you feel, your feelings, disconnected through who you want to, you know, like this harmony that you want to bring, your words can cause confusion and you know, bring you to other places. So it's an exercise, I think, to make this expression, you know, more aligned, and more aligned also with what is going to be revealed for this process. You know, as you go through this cutting things and leaving the excess behind, the sun is going to reveal to you, is in the revelation position. Is a sun that is going to bring even some warmth to these limits, you know, to these words, to these decisions. Because they might seem that they're cold and they're like, you know, like very rigid, but there is with the sun, there is a warmth that comes. It's a word that is inspiring to grow something. is words that are bringing, you know, care and so nice. It's here on the top you have the death cutting the things, and under you have the sun. Imagine that the sun is under the ground, this ground that the death is like dancing and cutting and da da da. And then as she cuts the things with her sword, these rays of light are gonna show up and they're gonna be revealed little by little, you know. And these rays of light, which, you know, the everything that the sun represents, that also in a professional reading has to do with routine. It has to do with how do you nourish your body, how do you nourish things around you, because the sun is the base for any construction. It doesn't matter, it doesn't, we wouldn't have anything, we wouldn't have any tree in this world if it wasn't for the sun. We wouldn't have any construction, any materialization if it wasn't for the sun, for this very potent guiding, you know, force that also can be related to spirituality, to your connection to the invisible, to your connection with your intuition, your connection to your softness, your connection to your emotions. You don't need to be so sharp, you know. It's some adjustments that needs to be with tenderness, you know. And tenderness, first of all, towards yourself. You need to be tender towards yourself. They're here together, justice and the sun. Because in the middle of the game, the center, is the lovers. And the lovers, they talk about this encounter with the others, this crossroad, even this push and pull, you know. It can be a very conflictuous position. But it's interesting because we would see, I don't know, in Tarot de Marseille, in Tarot of other cards, the lovers, they are kind of like in a more conflicting position, you know. It's a lot of push and pulling. A lot of push and pulling. Like there's this person in the middle with the two around, and it seems like, oh my god, you know, like it's this chaos and this thing with the sun on top, just like here, and the sun, you know, bringing the direction that you need to take. But here on this card, it shows it's more like people, they're just shaking hands. They're kind of like coming to an agreement that, you know, is a peaceful agreement in a way, because it doesn't necessarily needs to hurt or to. It's more like this, you know, just this doesn't serve me, you know, so I can't be doing this. And thinking about also in the Ten of Coins, these systems that we are trying to get in the professional field, you know, like these very big structures that here on the background, you know, have the castle, these very big structures of power, and they have been, they were already here before we you know, arrive here in this lifetime. They are there, and they don't necessarily serve us, you know, even though some people, they can get access to it, and they succeed in a way, in their way. It's not your way necessarily, you know. You have other ways, and it's okay. It's also about this, is how you build your own tree from the seed that you're watering today. that has to do with this dialogue, with these limits, with this clear vision of what is best for you, what shines, you know, what's bringing you inspiration and care. And also what I find, look, you're the group number one, you're the group who picked BEESWAX flowers. You know, it's flowers that they are covered in BEESWAX. And if you think about beeswax, it's a fluid, it's a liquid. Here even yellow, you know. It's this liquid that is being used by the bee to build the honeycomb, to build their structure, to build their, you know, their house, their place of nourishment. That has everything to do with the sun. It has everything to do, the bee. You know, this is golden, is nice, it smells nice, you know. So it's a big fertilizer. This vision and this love that is being put on this vision of this honeycomb that, you know, is being built, is nourishing this process of death and transformation. Is totally like is giving, is shining light, is shining light. Remember that there is a sun here on the lovers, like is shining light upon these decisions. Because this card can, on the challenging, it can be very harsh. It can be just, it can go maybe to extremes on the balance, on the weighting, you know, like it's, you can go yes, very strong, or no, very strong, you know, or it can be, in a way, it's a very general reading, and it's difficult to say, you know, in a general reading, if this is a process that is going to be like fast or if it's going to take a while, because each person deals with these archetypes in a different level, in a different way. And justice, you know, it can be difficult to maybe sometimes stand up for yourself, to stand up for your values, to stand up for just as the bee also has the how do you call, you know, the sharp thing on the butt to defend itself. It's the sword, you know, is the BOX is this liquid, and the butt is the sword. It's beautiful. This is so beautiful. And it's not like the bee is not gonna be like poking everyone around. It's poking as self-defense. It's standing up for their construction, for the queen bee, for the for incredible. This reading is incredible. I find it so beautiful, the way that it's just talking within itself, like it's so connected, it's so, you know, there is the duality, but it's talking within itself. You know, these two polarities, they're talking, and they need to talk, and they need to come to this middle ground, maybe, to this, you know, stability. Because you need this stability, you need to, how you feel in your heart, to have this structure, to, you know, and then be inspired by this as you encounter new opportunities, new challenges, new exchanges, new people. Because you're gonna know, you know, when it's a yes, when it's a no, when it's a, your project needs this. your 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 vision, this experience, this thing that is guiding you towards here, is asking, be close to what you feel is best for this project. You know, don't let yourself mix yourself. Don't let your recipients, your liquids mix with others. And it's even interesting also how in this card, in this deck of cards, is not so, like is blue. You know, the ground is always like black and always like in other representations. I'm gonna show the Tarot de Marseille again. It's blue, it's like it's the sea. So yeah, don't like it's not letting. Here is black. Here is black, and the spine of the skeleton is blue. It leaves the essential. It leaves just as here you have it's like the spine of the skeleton. The major, all the major arcanas are here, and this is the essential. You need to justice. You need to sun. You know, all of this that I talked about. They are the core that you can't let go when you find this other and these other systems and these other you know, in this very uh, tumultuous places. You need to be true to this core. So the flesh, you know, this flesh that is here on the borders, the flesh of of death, it's gonna dissolve and something else, you know. But I was saying, I don't think I finished. It's like the ground is like the sea, so you're mixing yourself with other people's fluids. Other your BEESWAX is being, you know, contaminated by other people's projections, other people's desires, other people's vision of what they want for themselves. That is not necessarily what you want for yourself. And the sun, yeah, it brings spirituality to you know, to these decisions. It brings how you're connected, how you feel yourself in these encounters. So this is what I have to say for this reading, for this very nice, beautiful reading. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. And I see you on your next reading. Thank you. Starting now for group number 2. An orientation towards professional life, career, group number 2. Sorry, I had a call that I had to pick, and but now I'm coming back to the reading because I was just saying, as I was just saying, that the first thing that caught me the attention here was that there were two trumpets. You know, there's this very similarity, this archetypical communication between these two cards of the Nine of Cups and the Judgments. These callings from the past that you're receiving, these callings to repeated situations, professional situations that you're being called to resolve again, bringing the same situation, same people, same everything. It seems like it even feels familiar. It feels like you even already could see it coming, you know, like, and it can be a bit overwhelming. This can be a lot of noise, like two trumpets, two different sounds, you know, two two different sounds. And this is interesting how is two different sounds, how the Pope is here. She's the second major arcana. She symbolizes this connection, this bridge of you know, two worlds, two ways of communication, two callings, two different callings. She's there on what makes sense to you right now, and I think that she's so powerful in this position. Holds she holds this reading together. She holds the knowledge, she holds the mysteries, she holds everything that I think is your key to understanding these different confusing calls, you know, these demands, these conflicts, these problems. Um, and I'm already gonna go to the center of the reading, to the potential conclusion, because it's the Five of Coins. And when I see a five under the pulpus, you know, just here, they're super, and even another five here, there are two fives. There is this axis, five of and pulpus, and the number five, it can be assimilated to the Pope, which is completely related to the pulpus, you know, in a way. It's like, even, you know, the pulpus has this veil around her of this mystery. She's hiding something, just as the Pope is hiding behind these two fives. So what does this mean? Especially with the Five of Coins and the Five of Cups. These two cards can bring, these two fives can bring a lot of complications. You know, there is all of this noise around, these people trying to steal you, these people making a mess. There is this person here in the bed, sick, dying, you know, like with these two candles, both sides of the head burning, kind of like a headache, you know, like bringing this anxiety. People bringing anxiety to you. People are not respecting you, and you feel like you're in this bed, like not possible to move. Like it's it's not nice, you know. Especially also here on the Five of Coins, all of these coins, they bring a chaotic scene behind. There is like tsunami, there is buildings falling, there is fire, like all of this, you know, professional world, literally. How the professional world can be with us in different scales, you know, always, especially general reading. each archetype here is, you know, very different from people to people, and it's difficult to say, to talk about intensity, but this is a potential intensity, you know, of things just falling apart. But there is here on the center of this card, there is a figure. There is the figure of Mars, the symbol of Mars, being carried by a goat, which is Aries, which is super related to Mars. Is the, you know, is this sense of action and energy? Like, where do you find this inspiration to move through this chaos? How, you know, you communicate? How does, and this is where the Pope comes, because the Pope, as the Popes, they make this connection, you know, with higher uh, self, with higher knowledge, higher possibilities, higher information that goes through our body, you know, through, you know, like this is the resolution that comes to us to all of these conflicts, is this moment of being centered. And I think here it has a lot to do with self-care, to on coins, you know, coins as this element of the body, of this element of matter, of this element of eating well, of exercise, of, you know, whatever makes you feel energy, because every person has a different way of because I'm not gonna say routine for some people doesn't work, you know, neurodivergent people, you know, it can be difficult sometimes. So how do you ground yourself through your body, through nourishing your body in your way, to access this communication, this more clear intuition, this more clear know how to overcome these callings that can be overwhelming? How to get yourself out of these beds, you know, out of this bed into like this movement of Aries with Mars, and you know, like very forward forward towards a focus that is a calling, you know, like there is this angel coming through the sun. He's like burning the way, burning the path. I made a work like that is this exact this card, and it's this angel that with the sound of the trumpet is like flames. It's inflaming your a deconstruction of past uh, uh, pushbacks. You know, like it's kind of like clearing the way, uh, receiving a call to clear the way in through, in a way, silence also, you know, like it is this, it's so loud that it becomes silence, and then you become, you get, you know, you get it, you have the turning point to break through this this bed that you can find yourself in, you know, this immobility. And you see, like it seems that I'm talking all the time about the challenges in the reading, but I haven't even gone through the challenging position here, because it's the Six of Coins. But I think what it says, it's already is in a way already here what I said. If let's think that here the resolution is the fifth, Five of Coins, and the challenging is the six. So it's kind of like you might be trying to get to the six, but you need to come back to the five. You know, you need to come back to the body. You need to come back to establishing this axis. You know, through the five. This the axis that crosses uh, your body. You know, your matter. this fifth element that goes and crosses with this, you know, this is this is what should be done. Because the six of coins, mm, I think it can talk about, not I think, it can talk about compromise. It can talk about um, compromising your success, compromising a vision, because you know all of these things coming back and you're like, oh my god, I have no way out. It doesn't seem like I have a way out. And I see that is a, yeah, I think actually I already said I already said everything, most of it. I don't know how this feels very compromising. How these relations that you don't, you seem like you don't have control, because these callings, they also appear to be bigger than us, and they appear to be in a place that we, you know, need to surrender and need to, you know, drown or anything. But it's not, it's really not. You have, it's possible, it's just through here, the answers, because um, it's in our knowledge, it's in our in our possibility, and in our capability of making this safe passage, you know, between past and future. And it's possible, it's here. But I think it's very beautiful, really, to have the focus on what makes sense to you. Really, really, I think an assuring position. You know, we need to really try to connect with this archetype. Try to, you know, she can be also assimilated with Persephone, Persephone, which, you know, she makes the connection in between worlds. She brings different seasons. She brings different seasons. She can bring, you know, change. She can bring renovation, because it's the, is in a way what is being asked, you know. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope it helped in a way. But just remember, also, it's a general reading. And yeah, thank you very much, and see you next time. So starting now for group number 3, group who picked BEESWAX syringes. What message do we have for group number 3? Professional life, career, orientation. What message for group number 3, please? What calls me the first attention is how you have two of the same cards of the past group, but it's different readings, it's different positions. But it doesn't really matter. It's just like there is a I saw this relation in a way, is connected in a way. Also, how here is a block of coins. There is this very strong influence of coins, which is which brings us to materiality. It brings us to, professional career, money, financial stability, our relation to our body, which is even more important. And there is this focus on these elements. There is this focus on this matter. And also, what is interesting is that in your present, you you have the wheel of fortune. So there is a shift happening. As it's a general reading, I can't really say if it's a huge or small. There is a change coming in your career in the present, and is a shift that you know it feels like you did it. You put your energy into an action that made things around you move. Things, not necessarily you are moving, but things around you are moving in alignment with this decision that you took. And it seems that you're putting it's like you're gambling. It's like you are putting all of your coins into the table. You're putting everything that you want to offer, everything. Like, this is, I want to have this, I'm giving this because I want to have more back. It's like this, the 7 of coins. In this card especially, because it's people gambling in the table, win or lose. It's risky. It's a game that you're playing, betting. Like because you want. It seems like you want the world, and it seems like you want to get to this wholeness, to this integrity of different parts of yourself, of different, not just your professional life, but your emotional life, your desires, everything. It seems like, is the ultimate goal, is here on your consciousness, on what makes sense to you right now, the world. And it's very beautiful. It's like, it's saying like, this is what you deserve. You deserve everything. And you're allowing yourself to go with the flow, and as you go with the flow, you take action. Because the 7 is this number that is related to action, is related to movement, related to this movement of the wheel of fortune. It's like you're going for the world, you're going for this construction, this constant building of your new reality. You want to build this reality for you by giving everything that you have. Like, you're gonna give everything that you have to get there. And I think this is beautiful. This is inspiring. Is ambition, because it is. Like, it's presenting itself here in a beautiful way. Like, to have the world here, there is nice. It's not like the as you have, I don't know, the emperor or something, like something that is very centered just on materiality. because then that is kind of, I think, the problem here. That is too focused on materiality, is too focused on, you know, doing and doing and doing and doing and doing, is letting the other elements away. In each corner of this card of the world, you have element, you have, uh, a symbol that represents earth, air, water, and fire. Each one of them. And then the world is the balance of all of these elements together. It's the elements that creates the world as it is. And if this gambling is getting too high, if this movement is getting too intensely on this direction, in this focus of building something on the material world, like physical, it can be leaving some things aside that are important to be looked at. Which brings us to the challenge, which is then water element, cups. It's the Six of Cups, which relates to the Six of Coins in the results. It's the two six are here. So imagine you're focused here on the Seven. I'm giving everything that I have for for this. But then you come back to the six in the potential results and on the challenge. So it's like there is something to bring with you together in the seven, something that is there on the six. The six is it can be this ambivalence, it can be this things that are trying to find some kind of agreements, some kind of accordance between themselves to move to a direction. So maybe there is some kind of revision to be made on this direction that's being taken. There is an emotional revision. It's revisiting, how you're building this alchemy in you. How are you building this play of balance of the elements within you? How are you not just feeding material thoughts, but you're also feeding spirituality? How you're also feeding desire and communicate, like a communication is this card, the Six of Cups here, is all of these witches and these wizards. I love this card and they're like doing their thing, they're doing their witchery. And it's something that is linked to immaterial, it's something that is not so concrete, it's something that inspires us, it's something that moves us through the mystery of everything. This is great, like, especially I think this combination of the Six of Cups, of all these witches, with the Seven of Coins, which are these people playing cards, which is there's even, I don't know, is even the Tarot de Marseille that they're playing. It's what it seems to be. Totally the vibe. And so there is a call, it seems, to give a little step back, reposition yourself a little bit, because this wheel is spinning and maybe like it's spinning too fast with the 7. It's like and you're like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's make it work. But there needs to be, you know, what it says here is that it needs to consider this other kind of rhythm, this rhythm that is more difficult to notice and to process, is the emotional, you know, is the is the search of harmonization of this emotional field, if it makes sense for you. um, and then still there is another step back. There is another step to go from the 6 to the 5. So you see, you start with your focus on the 7, then the challenge makes you go through the 6, which makes you realize that you need to come back to the 5, which is the 5 of coins. Which then comes, is a card that can bring this necessity to find our energy in our, you know, this energy that is spinning here. It needs to be, you need to come back to your body. You need to come back by the way that you nourish yourself and the way that you're feeding this, all of this intuition that is demanding, you know, is like, is asking also, like in this work that you're doing, you're is demanding also your emotions, and you can't really offer things in the long run if your emotions are getting dry because it's too much earth, and then there's a little bit of water, you know, and then it's not enough. You need a bit more of balance, of you know, is this constant look for balance, is this constant search for this this universe, this world that you want to to receive. um, and so the 5 of coins, it has like all of these images around that are a bit chaotic. It's like tsunami, fire, buildings collapsing, and then in the center is this the symbol of Mars being pulled by a goat. It's like there is this energy to, you know, go for it, like and in the middle of the chaos. And this is a movement that requires uh, self-care. It requires coming back to, you know, coming back to the body in a way that also realizing that this body needs demands, is asking for demands that are not purely on material demands. It's also asking to feed your desire, your fire, your Aries, you know, like it's like you need to feed this little goat with like this little goat, she loves to eat, I don't know, a pepper, let's say pepper, the fire, you know, like she loves, gives her some spice to run. So it's I think is mostly around this, you know, and then the 6 of coins in the result, in the potential results. So from uh, revealing in you in this process a little a stepping back, in the end you're advancing, you know, on the 6 of coins, because the time of earth is also telling that it takes time, it takes consistency. It's not just from here I'm gonna already run to the to the seven, like let's go. It's saying that there needs to come back a little bit to advance in a more stable way, in a more even conscious, I don't know, conscious way. And since also there is like all of this asking, for alchemy, this this asking for finding this integration. What is interesting about the seven of coins, I think there is a relation with the seven planets. The sevens, they always bring in some way like this the seven planets thing. So when I say the seven planets, is your natal charts. Look in your natal charts, and then you're gonna see. Ah, I'm a Earth sign. I'm a very determined Earth sign that wants to, go. But you have also other planets, like you need to see that it's not just one planet. You're not just your sun, you're not just your rising and your moon. You have all of this constellation that is informing where is your balance, like how to it is a way of finding this balance is through self-observation, is through self-care, is through and self-care. I say self-care not just like eating well, whatever, is knowledge is also self-care. Knowing your chart and understanding how these planets uh, talk between themselves, it helps a lot. If you want, ask for the comments. I have the best astrologer recommendation to give. She can give you the most amazing things for you to to like to help in this process. If you want to invest, in this in yourself, like also how investing in yourself in the end it brings uh, hopefully, I don't know, like hopefully it brings more in the future, even though some things seems to get lost in the way. Like maybe like you're betting seven things, like wanting to get 21, but you get okay, how do I do this math? I don't know. You don't get 21, but you get 20. Being very positive about it, you get one less than what you wanted here, 7 to 6. So, so I hope that it makes sense, and I hope that it helped you in a way to understand your process. But there is a huge potential. I see a huge potential. It makes there on top of the game the world like really amazing position, amazing grace, like amazing, and all of this witch energy, amazing. So I'm just coming back to this reading for a moment because I forgot to, I'm loving to make relations between the objects that you pick and the reading itself. And I forgot to do this on this reading, but it's so beautiful, the connection that I perceived, because you see, like, this is a big, syringes are a big transsexual symbol. They represent the world to us. They represent this transformation, this alchemy that we're taking ourselves in our body. You see, it's so beautiful. I'm so excited about it. It's like beautiful. It's it's you know, it's liquids. It's this alchemy that we are injecting in ourselves, in through our body to have, you know, tits, ass, face, whatever, everything. But we are also receiving hormonal changes. We're receiving emotions. We are receiving perceptions of the world that are deeply, deeply emotional and hormonal, you know. We're not changing only our physical appearance. We're not just changing. We're not just building this. We are building something that is all at once, you know, is this new perception of the world, is this new sensibility towards the world, is this new, you know, what I was saying about being focused on the matter and forgetting the emotions is this. Because sometimes we can get in, you know, like this very harsh on yourself, on ourselves also, to wanting to you know, higher those, higher this, higher that, you know, gamble, you know, put more because I want more tits. But it's unstabilizing. It's changing everything. You know, it's bringing tsunami, and we can't handle when this happens because we lost our ground. You know, and it's very, this is so beautiful and so strong. I feel I like, you see, is an androgynous figure. In, I mean, not, I don't like the world in this tarot, but you know, like, is this in any card, is this androgynous beautiful figure. You see, like the tranny there taking her injections. And this is a metaphor, it's not just for the trannies, it's for everyone. But you know, like, it's very nice. So this is what I had to add to your reading. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I see you on my next reading. Thank you very much.